So this is sort of like a stream of consciousness spiral, isn't it?
Kind of, sort of. I mean, you're essentially just going to draw whatever you want. This is a free-for-all, draw whatever you want kind of thing. This is our introduction video. I wanted us to make something together that reflected the things that we love. The coming together of the two designs is a representation of the fact that we both love very different things and we both draw very differently and we have very different styles, but when you bring all that together, it looks way cooler. So tell me about what you like to draw and why you like to draw it.
Dogs. I like drawing dogs.
Yeah, obviously. Why do you like drawing dogs, Jerin?
Because I like dogs.
Why do you like dogs?
Because dogs. Dogs.
Do you remember why you drew when you were a kid?
I guess it just seemed like a fun thing to do. I mean, when I was really little, I told you about drawing with my mom. It was just like a fun activity, you know, like coloring. I liked doing crafts and I liked making things, so it just seemed like a natural thing to do. And then when I got a little older, I would start making up stories to go with the drawings, you know, or I would draw video game characters or cartoon characters.
You know, like you, I like to play video games. At one point, I had a friend in elementary school, maybe. Him and I like to get together and invent superheroes together. That was our favorite thing to do. So I really like drawing all sorts of different characters. And of course, none of mine were really original. I would just take a bunch of other superheroes that I really liked and stick them together. But yeah, I really enjoyed doing that.
That's so cool.
And I think later on, I just kind of enjoyed the challenge of it, I guess.
I remember one of the first times that I really talked to you was during lunch, and you had one of your drawings that you were working on. It was like a girl who was an angel but like half robot, and it was like showing all the wires.
I don't know why I love drawing machines so much, but I just keep coming back to it. It was like everywhere in that picture.
I like your machines.
I had the robot hand and the weird little claw thing with the lightning coming out of it. And then there's another section up there with just like a bunch of gears. I like drawing anything made out of metal. I think metal's really easy because it's very reflective and it has
it's
very
so
high.
hard for me though. I can't draw like metallic things the way you can.
For whatever reason, the way that I learned how to draw, it just naturally acclimates toward being able to do metal because I like drawing things with very, very high contrast. And the nice thing about drawing things that are metallic is that they just reflect everything in their environment, right? It's shiny. So you just picture in your head where your light's coming from, and then you picture in your head the geometry of the shape that you're trying to capture, and then you try to calculate in your mind, okay, where the light is coming from, what direction is it going to bounce off in, and then you figure out that angle in your head, and then you determine how bright that source of light is going to be coming off of that surface based off how closely or how directly it's going to be bouncing into your eyes, I guess.
Yeah, that's too much math for my tiny little.
But it's not math.
Brain.
It's you don't actually calculate it. It's just a feeling.
Okay, but I
you know
don't
what I mean?
have
Like
math
you just kind
feelings.
of feel it out.
The only
in your
feelings
head where
I
it's
have
gonna
about
go.
math are I don't want to do
Well,
it.
and here's the thing, and I feel equally baffled by your approach to coloring because a lot of times you make color choices that I look at and I cannot figure out the logic behind them at all, but they look so fucking cool together.
That's pretty much the logic behind them. They look cool together.
At least for me, I feel like all the color choices that I make come from some sort of underlying logical place, you know, like this, you know, that's going to be the color of this thing and this is what I would expect it to be. I don't know where this stuff comes from. I can only pull stuff out of my head that I've seen before. That's why I drew like dragons like 5 times because I like dragons and I've seen them a bunch and there's a bunch of dragons in movies and it's really easy to draw a dragon because I've seen one and I know what dragons look like, you know?
And I love how you draw dragons. Like, I couldn't draw dragons like that. And the thing is, a lot of the stuff that looks like I made it up is also stuff that's come from different sources. Like, if you went and looked up all the artists that I would cite as an inspiration, you would probably see that, well, a lot of them draw things that look kind of like this. Hopefully it's not an exact facsimile of their style or subject matter, but it really depends on the sources you've been exposed to and what you pick up from them. But yeah, I mean, I think we both come from different influences.
Very different.
Yes. You know, having grown up in the same generation and having similar interests, we have had some of the same source material, but it kind of gets filtered and expressed differently. I would say the hardest thing just to draw was that part in the upper left with the deer and the weird orb thing that's all like Escher-y and multidimensional and the little Klein bottle thing next to it. It's hard to break the laws of space and time if you don't really have a good grasp of them. It also kind of invited this interplay of what is outside, what is inside, because there's sort of the lighter colored branches and the darker colored branches, and sometimes it's negative space and sometimes it's positive space, and they kind of blend into each other at certain places. And I was kind of just playing with this idea of what side are we on here? Like, what side are we viewing from? What's solid? What's space? And it just kind of became the theme of that whole section, other than the little astronomer bird dude. I think one of the coolest things that you drew, I really like the castle.
I didn't think that was going to turn out as well as it did. It was fun to make. I mean, I was really winging it when I did that because I didn't like the castle that I drew. I didn't think... I was just off. I don't know what I was thinking when I put that together.
That's okay. Sometimes you just gotta wing it.
I think that's one of the things that I kind of learned doing this piece. It started out kind of stressful because I felt a lot of pressure to do well. I struggled at the start to really find, I guess, my own style. And while I don't feel that I accomplished any form of consistency, I did feel like every part of the drawing ended up being more fun than the last. And I ended up really enjoying the experience, which was important because for a long time now, I feel like drawing has been more stressful than fun. And it was really kind of fun towards the end there where I just started to being more free and creative, and it started to feel like a good experience, like something that I wanted to do.
The other really hard part was the part that you said looked like a lake full of bones. I had sort of envisioned a panorama of this dead or destroyed alien world overgrown with these tentacle things with the eyes, and then the bones of like some dead creatures and ruined cities scattered around. And then over up on the right, those are mountains, and the red is actually a sky full of cracks and asteroids, and like the cracks are like dimensional rifts. It's kind of like sort of like a cosmic horror situation, but I kind of also like your interpretation that it's more of a lake.
Well, the only reason I think that is just because of the perspective.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of interesting how the perspective and the way it's framed can kind of change what it looks like. I felt like maybe I didn't make it as clear as I had it in my mind, but I still think the result came out pretty interesting.
I think I accomplished my goal here, and my goal with starting this was that I wanted to enjoy art again. Mm-hmm. This project started exactly how I expected it to start. I was frustrated, I was angry, I was disappointed with the progress I was making. I didn't think I was going to do well, and I didn't think it was looking good. I thought this is garbage, and I should just stop working on this immediately. But like immediately after drawing this little tower looking thing right in the corner, where that just turned out instantly way better than I thought it was going to, and it just kind of came out of left field. It literally came from me just hashing out my frustrations. I was just like, I don't know how to do this, so I'm just gonna put down whatever, and whatever turned out to be way better than me actually trying to make it look good. Instead of just trying to make it look good, I just tried to have fun, and having fun made it look amazing.
I know you kind of struggled with getting discouraged.
It was a struggle.
Yeah, I struggle with that a lot. Not with this project, because I kind of approached it from the attitude that you said you had at the end, where it was just fun and joyful and experimental. And for me, this project felt that way from the outset, but other things that I've done don't feel like that at all. I feel a lot of that pressure to make it look good and do it right and follow a certain structure or set of standards, but it's usually with writing. Pretty much how you felt for a while, that's how I feel all the time about writing. I could definitely relate to how you were feeling.
I think this last section in the middle here was kind of just a celebration of like, hey, look, I remembered how to have fun. You know, and that's why I have this triad of the three primary colors globbed together in this little orb thing in the middle, and I was just being playful at that point.
Yeah.
So I said it like made me think of Saturday morning cartoons, but on steroids.
Yeah, and it feels really joyful.
What's your favorite section out of the stuff that I did?
Oh, geez, I'm just like, I like all the parts. I really do, though. I don't know. Like, every time I think something's my favorite, something else is my favorite. Do you have a favorite that I have drawn?
No, literally that last section. Just that dragon head bleeding into this phoenix and the super ultra neon colors that you used. Yeah.
I really love world building. When I first played Final Fantasy VI, we had this player's guide, and for some reason, the author of the player's guide was like dropping truth bombs in the intro. He was all like, it's one thing to tell a story, it is another to reveal the workings of a world, and for some reason that has always stuck with me.
That's so cool.
Yeah, in a Final Fantasy player's guide that was like probably not even official. Yeah, I think the player's guide for Final Fantasy VI influenced me almost as much as Final Fantasy VI did. But it's something that I've always wanted to live by. Like, give people like a glimpse into a world that they can sort of believe is real. Like, create something that people want to inhabit and be a part of.